sign that you just saw in 1971 used to say Spotsylvania Senior High School. On the other side of the auditorium was the band room. Second floor in front of the library was an English classroom, and at the back of the first floor was the U.S. government classroom. During this past week, as I have talked to constituents, the subject has come up about teachers and schools and all that goes on with them. Well, that's another board. Some of them are up for re-election this cycle too. But what it got me to thinking of was the teachers who have been influential in my life. There's been several, but it's three that I want to recognize. In 1969, Mr. Lipscomb selected a skinny kid who wore Buddy Holly glasses to be his drum major. So from 1969 to 1971, I was a drum major for the Spotsylvania Senior High School Band. That enabled me to begin to see what leadership was all about and what the responsibilities of it was. So it was the beginning of a whole new aspect of my life, something I was not used to. That experience also enabled me to be the drum major for the United States Navy Recruit Training Command Drum and Bugle Corps, which brought on a whole other set of experiences and leadership. And throughout the years, that has helped tremendously. This English teacher was Miss Newman. Not only was she the English teacher, but she was also a drama teacher. And she used to drag my geek self out from behind the lighting board out onto stage with speaking parts or parts that she just made up and wanted me on the stage, I think. That enabled me to begin to be able to be comfortable in speaking in front of people. Through that experience, I was a post commander for American Legion Post 320 for 2 years. That led to some other responsibilities, and I got to talk to state conventions of the American Legion. It also has enabled me to talk in front of boards and commissions that I have interacted with throughout the years. And at the very back of this hallway was the U.S. government classroom taught by Mr. Rep. She instilled in me the sense of what it took to run a government, for the intricacies that it took in order for all this that we call a democracy to work. So when I decided to run for the Board of Supervisors, the very first signature on the very first petition was Mr. Rep. I wanted her to know that she had an influence on somebody in her class. So that brings me to the point of all this, is I wanted to salute the teachers who now teach. So I doff my hat to you and your profession. And I want to thank you for the hard work that you put into all this. For you may have already touched somebody that's life is being changed by you. Or sometime in the future, you will touch a life that will make a difference. So at this point, thank you very much for your job and what you do. I'm Dennis Buchanan, candidate for the Spotsylvania Board of Supervisors, Berkeley District, and I authorize this meeting.